Won't you just come my way?
Come in.
Baby, won't you just take your time?
Hello guys, how are you guys doing? So it's early in the morning and we gonna talk. I don't know when y'all gonna get this video. Y'all gonna get it when y'all get it. But I always got this random hanger. Oop, child. Okay, we gonna leave the hanger. There's a hanger there. Y'all gonna see it. Whatever. But I'm always here doing this video. I do my videos. I love to do my videos in the morning. Y'all see my little wig? Anyways, I love to do my videos in the morning. Y'all get it when y'all get it, okay? Okay. Now, we gonna have a little conversation. Did y'all see the Dear Wifey podcast with Tyler? Child. Tyler, I'm just gonna tell y'all my views on this, okay? And how I feel, because, you know, we've been watching. We've been tuning in. We've been, you know, breaking it down. We've been having conversations about all this mess, okay? I'm, like, annoyed with Tyler just because I feel as though he, like, keeps going on these different podcasts and lying. We know you're a liar, okay? You don't have to go to different locations to prove to us that you're a liar. We believe you, sir. We believe you.
Are you there when the child is born? No. All right. Because I wasn't along for that process as well. So I tell Ashley, when I have a kid, I want to be there. I want to take pictures. I want to do the stomach pictures. I want to be one before the kid's even born. Right. I wasn't there for any of that. It's a kid. You have your family. This is your family.
Y'all, he's on the birth certificate and cut the cord for the twins. He cut the cord for the twins.
It don't matter. He and goddamn Ashley, you know? And this is an unpopular take, right? For the people that I feel as though kind of what Ashley did is similar but not similar, okay? Different in a way that no kids was involved and ain't no kids, but standing by your man when it has nothing to do with you, right? This situation had nothing to do with you. This happened way before he even met you, and you speaking on it, right? Just that, it's similar to what Nicki Minaj is doing with her husband, Kenneth Petty. We gonna say that? I don't care. Because I've heard that Nicki did an interview saying that the man was young, and he was too young. And, you know, when he did his thing, a person, you know, she was saying he was young, he was underage, and she spoke up about it when she really didn't need to, because it wasn't nobody's business, because it wasn't even her business. She wasn't even with the man, okay? You met this man a whole nother time. You knew him when y'all was kids, but you met this man a whole nother time, fell in love with him, and decided that you was gonna be with him. What he did, whether it's true or not true, is nobody's business. Don't nobody care, okay? But she decided when she got in a relationship with him to speak on him because she felt as though like it was reflecting upon her in a negative way. And I made that comparison to my mind, and I was like,
Knowingly bringing up 30-year-old T from when a man was 15 being lied on is not the flex you think it is. But I don't want to say too much. If you know, you know why.
While watching this, right? But Tyler's a liar. You know what I'm saying? I watched Jessie Woo and Storytime with Ricky because I'm on TikTok and everything else. Y'all already know. And this man's a liar. This man literally is a liar. Talking about they kept vials of sperm. When everybody knows when sperm hits the air, it's not good. That's why people have sex to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So all of this, he's a liar, okay? He's a liar. I love how the guy kept on coming back to the questions, because you're saying that you spend this amount of time with the children, but then saying that was her family, you didn't have nothing to do with it. And then he wanted to harp on the fact that in Jessie Woo's and Storytime with Ricky's interviews, with her ex-wife came out, Rye's ex-wife came out. She said that Rye was abusive and Rye was, you know, whatever. He wanted to harp on, she's an abuser. But in the court papers, they said that even I looked at the court paper, they said that he was fighting for Rye to get the kids, trying to be, you know, help her out. If you knew she was an abuser, why you always trying to talk about her being an abuser, then why are you fighting hard for them to get the kids?
So I just watched the Latarius interview with Tyler, and I had a lot of notes after all the lies that this man told, especially about me. Really, that's all I really want to focus on. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Deshawn, Bry's ex-wife, and the other mother of Kyra. I don't use social media like that, so this video is probably going to be hella choppy, and I don't know, it's not going to be pretty, but we'll get to the truth. So I took notes. Number one, and I just went and took notes while I'm watching the video. So number one, he says that we asked him to be the sperm donor. That's not true. I don't know what conversations him and Bry had outside of me, but it was presented to me that Bry had two friends, Tyler and another guy that was on her basketball team, that offered to donate sperm to us. It wasn't that we could not afford to go to a sperm bank. I did not want him to be our donor. That is 100% the truth. But Bry wanted Tyler to be the sperm donor. It was her first baby. I'm in an abusive relationship. I let her go with how she wanted to go. I just followed her lead. Tyler also said that it's a lie that I didn't want him to be the donor, and that he has text messages of us thanking him. I do not remember thanking that man, but I could see how we would thank him for giving us life. Like Lataria said, we can't produce a baby on our own. So yes, I'm going to be thankful that I'm having a baby, or that what we set out to do is happening. But I never wanted him to be the sperm donor because, like I said in my interview with Ricky and Jesse, I always had suspicions that they were messing around. So why would I want you to be further connected to my family? Also, he says that he doesn't recall bringing his ex-fiance to a baby shower. It wasn't a baby shower, it was the gender reveal. And Ricky posted pictures of his fiance's Facebook post where she says she was brought to a gender reveal by him. And he said he never came to a baby shower. He was absolutely at our Maryland baby shower. We had two. He wasn't at the one in Louisiana, but he was at the one in Maryland. I cannot confirm or deny if his fiance cheated on him. I was not a part of their relationship, but from what I know about her, I don't see that being the truth. I do know that he cheated on her, though. I know that for a fact. And I know that because, like he said, Bry was one of the guys. And he would come to our house, he would drink, they would tell us everything. And if he wasn't telling me in particular, he's telling my wife, who's going to tell me. We were like attached at the hip. And then he says that he didn't donate sperm until the end of their relationship. It's my understanding that he did not tell his ex-fiance that he donated until he stepped up as Cairo's dad figure. That's when he had to tell her. They were not done. And if they were done, why did he bring her to the gender reveal? We found out the sex of our baby about 6 weeks. Well, not at 6 weeks. It was like between 6 and 8 weeks because we did the chromosome DNA, not the DNA test, the chromosome blood test, and they called us and told us the gender. It was super early in the pregnancy, but they were still together. Okay, so I do agree with some of the things he said in the video, not much, but one of the things is we did not hash out exactly what the plan was. He definitely was supposed to be an uncle. He was going to have no say-so in the baby's life. He was already uncle tied to my daughter. All of that is true. But he goes on to say that he came to the hospital and we were so happy and he was so happy for us, but then says I just up and abandoned my wife. If we were so happy, and I'm talking fast because I'm trying to not have multiple parts, but if we were so happy, why would I up and leave for another man 2 weeks later? Everything, your story just does not add up. If we were so happy, I don't know, that just don't make sense. He also says that I was salty after I left for another man. So I left for another man, and I'm in California supposedly having the time of my life being with this other guy, but I'm salty, so I filed for full custody. What am I salty about if I'm with another man and living my life? That does not make sense. I left because you had sex with my wife. That's why I left. He says that I tried to take full custody of a child that I did not birth. Yes, I did not birth just this child, but I am on the birth certificate. You said that I was there the whole pregnancy, that you weren't a part of that. This was my child. So I have every right to ask for custody. But like I've said before, Bri filed for full custody first. This is after she blocked me on everything. When I left to California, we were co-parenting across state lines. He's flying back and forth. The baby is flying back and forth between California and Maryland. He says he wanted to step up because she needed help. That's fine. You want to help her in Maryland, but he makes it sound like I left and I was doing nothing. He says how he's not able to discipline them. He made no decisions. I was doing all that over the phone, FaceTiming him every day. And when she would have issues at work, where I remember a time Cairo kept getting sick at daycare, me and my daughter flew back to Maryland, and I stayed at her house and took care of my son so that she could go to work. There was never a situation where she just was so struggling so much and just needed so much help. If that was the case, why didn't you ask your wife and co-parent to help you with the child? He also is talking about the fact that I he acknowledges the fact that he knew that she was abusing me, right? Thank you for doing that. Because I definitely have not been lying about anything I said. But you go help your abusive friend take custody from me. Make that make sense. Then he talks about how I backed off because she had all this support. That's 100% fact. I'm in California. Our court case is in Maryland. The whole friend group is rallying behind Bri, and they are prepared to lie in court and say she wasn't abusing me and that I was not taking care of my son, and that Tyler has been there the whole time. So she's, instead of us, she skipped mediation and she wanted to go straight to trial. I could not mentally handle to keep doing all that, especially when I had nobody to back up my claims. All my family's in California. Nobody was going to fly out there and defend me. So I backed off. And I just want to be clear that at no time, he keeps painting a picture that I abandoned him, but at no time was that the case. I even offered to move back to Maryland, but Bryce said if I moved back to Maryland, that she would ask to get transferred to another duty station. I was not about to run around America chasing her. I would have been getting dragged through court just like he is now. Let me see what else my notes. And I even reached out to her chain of command in the military, telling them that she was not allowing me to see my child and that was against the law. She told her boss, I don't care what you do. If you try to force me to let her see my son, I will, I'm not going to do it. So if you want to kick me out the military, kick me out, because I'm not going to do it. This is the type of menace that I was dealing with, okay? As far as Bri's mom, yes, she is a fucking, I don't know if I can cuss. She is a menace, okay? We've never gotten along. She's never liked that Bri was gay. Abusing her daughter growing up, all of that. Bri is abusive because of her mama. I 100% could see her mom flaunting Tyler around Louisiana to, because she felt embarrassed that her daughter was gay. But now she could say she had that plausible deniability because she has a baby daddy. My interactions with Bri's mom, even after having my son, while I was still there, the reason why I actually finally decided to leave after he was born was because of Bri's mom and her taking my son out of my arms while we were taking a nap, her cussing Bri out because she wouldn't allow her to give Cairo his first bath without me there. Her mom, even when we were moving from one apartment to the next apartment after Cairo was born, her mom was sending threatening text messages telling her how she was going to beat her up because Bri defended me against her. And she's looking for her in the apartment complex, saying that her daughter just had a baby and she's threatening her. And probably one of the biggest lies is that I came back and said that I wanted to have more kids with her, and we used vials that we saved from Cairo to have the twins. Number one, Bri mostly dates women. She would not go on here and lie and say that she had sex with a man. That makes no sense. Number two, he mentions the device that we used and how there was like a cup and all this stuff. He would come to our house, use the bathroom downstairs, do his business, give us the cup. As soon as he would leave, we would go put it inside of her. There was no saving. It's literally a cup. It's called Stork OTC, I think is the website. I just looked it up. There's no way to save it. So he goes from saying that we used the cup to saying that there's vials or capsules that we saved. I did leave after the baby was born, and then I came back maybe 3 months later because, of course, just like any relationship, I've been with this woman for a long time. I love her. I want my family. I'm running out of time. Sorry. Okay, I think I left off talking about him saying I came back. So just like any other relationship, it wasn't a clean cut. We broke up and we're still married. We're still, like I said, co-parenting, so we're in contact a lot, and the feelings were still there. So I did move back to California in September, but by December or January, I'm back in Maryland. Packed up my apartment, everything, and moved back to into the apartment with her. She never tells me Tyler has moved. She said in her interview that Tyler had moved some of his clothes into the guest bedroom because he was there helping her. I wasn't aware of any of that. I was not a part of any conversation with him saying that I was back and that he needed to exit Cairo's life. But when I was back, I was only back for a week, maybe 2 weeks, because Bry attacked me, physically assaulted me in a grocery store, in the Food Lion in Laurel, Maryland, in front of my daughter and two of her friends who were visiting. Within a day or two of that, of course, I'm realizing she's never going to change. So I go back home, and that was the last time that we tried to make our relationship work. So the twins were not, we never talked about expanding our family when I came back for that short amount of time. We had a newborn, and my daughter was maybe two or three. I think she was 2 or 3, something like that. We didn't need more kids. That was never a conversation. Bri already admitted the twins were conceived naturally. I believe the only reason why he doesn't want to say that is because of his court case. He's trying to separate himself from parentage with any of the kids so that he won't have the financial responsibility anymore. And I can't remember if I said this already, but he says that, we save vials or something like that. You can't just save sperm in a regular freezer. That's something you'd have to do at a sperm bank that he keeps saying we could not afford. So there's no possible way that we could have saved some of his sperm. And like I said, he only donated sperm to us 2 times. Whatever her and him did to have Cairo, it was not turkey baster method like we were using, or we were supposed to be using. He says that he didn't go to doctor's appointments, but Bri already released the video of him at the ultrasound at doctor's appointments. So we know that's not true with the twins. And as far as Cairo was concerned, he was going to doctor's appointments with him too. When we were going through our divorce, there were some health issues I wanted to bring up to the judge. I got Cairo's medical records, and in the nurse's notes saw baby came to appointment with mother and father. That's how I started to realize how active he was in Cairo's life. Now, I think it's easier for some people to try to believe Tyler because he sprinkles in some truths with his lies. As far as Bri being in relationships back to back, that's a fact. I think that she keeps women around to help raise the kids. When we were together, I was a stay-at-home mom, and when we broke up, she needed to quickly find somebody else to help her raise them kids because her job does take a lot of her time. Bri is one of those people that if she can't control you, she doesn't want you around. When I left, that's why she completely blocked me on everything, and I could not get in contact with her or my son until I think 2 days after the divorce was final is when she contacted me again. So I could see her pushing Tyler out or pulling him in and out of his relationship with the kids, but I'm not around there. I'm not around, so I don't know what they got going on with it. My personal experience, though, is like I said, she contacted me 2 days after the divorce, and she allowed me to come back into my son's life. I could not be his mom, and I wasn't allowed to talk to him very often because I think she didn't want us to develop a relationship or keep that relationship going after she had no contact with me and him for over a year. But she was back in my daughter's life as her mother. She's the only mother that my daughter knew at the time. And she gets with her now fiance, and she calls me and lets me know how her fiance called me actually and told me that she was upset because she overheard my daughter calling Cairo and the twins her siblings, and that these are her kids now, and her kids are their siblings, not my daughter. Shortly after that, Bri cut me and my daughter off again for the sake of her relationship. So he talks about some girl naming the twins. I don't know anything about that. Bri told me during that phone call when after the divorce was final, when she called me, she told me that the twins were named after my daughter. I already knew that, though, because their names are Kamari and Callie. Cali's because we're from California. My daughter is named after Kimora Lee Simmons, and her nickname was Kimmy, and she wanted to call her daughter Cammy, and they found a name that fit that nickname. So Kamari, just like Kamor, and Kimmy and Cammy. I said my daughter's named after Kimora Lee Simmons. Tyler's middle name just so happens to be Lee, but Kamari Lee, Kimora Lee, you get where we're going with this. And then my daughter's full name is Kimora Layla Marie. I'm almost positive is Callie Marie. But either way, Bri told me herself that she named her twins, after my daughter, even though she abandoned her. And she said that was her way to keep a piece of my daughter forever or some bull. Now, as far as the abuse is concerned, he mentions it multiple times. And at first, it's almost like he's doing it in solidarity. But then he bashes me for going back to her after she was abusing me. But whatever trauma I have that made me feel like it was okay to allow this woman to do all the heinous things that she did to me is none of his concern. I don't know why he even felt that it was okay for him to talk about it, but I think it was more so him trying to say like Bri's not a good person, which, and my opinion is she ain't. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't appreciate that. So he does say that that y'all lost the plot when it came to me bringing up the abuse, and then when I did my interview, everybody in the comments was supportive, and Jesse and Ricky were supportive, and then they go do the interview with Bri, and now let's go set up, not a GoFundMe. He called it a domestic violence GoFundMe, but then when she says her story, everybody forgets that she was abusive to me. I know people say the money was for the kids or whatever. I don't care about the money. And my thing was never to come on social media to get a platform, anything of that nature, which is why I never get on my own TikTok and share my story. But I agree that if he had domestic abuse allegations against him, there would be a much bigger issue. Whereas with her, y'all have let her off the hook. Tyler and I know her very well. So he mentions how during her interview, her mask slips sometimes and her character pokes through. And that's 100% fact. As I watched her interview with Ricky and Jesse, I'm seeing the facial expressions that she makes when she gets angry while she's talking about her situation, and then her try to laugh or smile to get back into character. But I know that face, and I know what pain comes after that face. But y'all don't know that, so I don't expect y'all to. Then he talks about the text messages that Bri released saying that Ashley wasn't his type, which I don't care about. But Bri released the email between them where Tyler is like, I'm going to tell Diane everything, her current fiance. And she goes, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But clearly their entanglement did not end with me. Okay, and the freak offs 100% happened. I have no reason to make that up. And I never met somebody who participated in nothing like that. So a lot of my friends had heard these stories as well years ago. But the friend whose wife they were having the freak offs with, his name is Blunt. He was married to a girl named Vanessa. They had 2 kids together. And when he was done letting his friends run through her, he started messing with a black girl who they started running through as well. There was another friend, Jan, who participated in it. I don't have to lie, so I have all the details. And he said, why would I know this information? Because she was one of the guys. Y'all would come and tell us or tell her and brag. And of course, my wife is going to tell me. And then it really became big when y'all were under investigation when Blunt's wife, Vanessa, said it was non-consensual. And he says, why would he tell me that my wife participated in a threesome and was in a corner masturbating? Because I pulled you to the side, like I said, multiple times and asked, what is going on? Tell me, did you have sex with her to have this baby? And he was like, no, but I will say that she did participate in this, but I felt like he told me to try to build rapport so that I would say, okay, well, he told me this thing so I can believe that he didn't sleep with her. But you did sleep with her. Ran out of time again. Okay, this is the last part, I promise. So He talks about Ricky, well, he don't name them specifically, but he says that there's these fake journalists doing all these stories and they don't even have proof. But anytime I said anything to Ricky, I had to send evidence. If I didn't have evidence, she didn't post it. So that's not the truth at all. Everything that I said, I had receipts for. I still have receipts for. And the only reason why I ever came forward is because people were lying on me. Stop saying that I abandoned him and I will shut up. Just stop lying. That's why I posted the very first thing on my page was don't lie on me and I won't tell the truth on you. I would have never came forward with the abuse. I would have never said nothing if y'all would have just left me alone. But you're not gonna run this narrative that I abandoned the family that I fought very hard for, that you played a pivotal role in destroying. And as far as TikTok journalists are concerned, he says that nobody ever asked me the hard questions like, why did I leave and why did I come back? Why did I leave, Tyler? Because you screwed my wife. That's why I left. So after years of abuse, last straw, babe. Last straw. You slept with a man. You told me you were a lesbian. I'm out. That's why I left. I left because you tore up my marriage and your engagement all in one stride. Now, what killed me the most was him saying, well, not the most, but him saying that people say they support black love and black men and women, but the black people are the ones that are tearing him down in the comments, him and his wife down in the comments. But a big part of uplifting black people is holding them accountable. And that's what he's not ready to be held accountable for his actions. But we're going to do it every time. Now, he had a lot to say about Brian, her current fiance, who I also wouldn't have spoke on if this girl wasn't constantly viewing my page. And yes, I see you in my profile views, or commenting lies about me that she has nothing to do with because she was not around when any of this happens. But anyways, somebody did an investigation or looked into Maryland court records and saw that the current fiance just got divorced. So it makes sense to me why she would not be claiming her on social media or anything like that, because it's still adultery and she's still in the military. So had the girl's husband came forward, Bri would have had another Article 15 for adultery again. But he talks about them playing house with his kids, right? Of course, he didn't call them his kids, but playing house with the kids, but y'all want me to fund it. But you played house with my son. That's how you got here. Playing house with my wife. I don't feel bad for you, babe. And lastly, he doesn't mention the fact that he was living with Bri. Never mentions that. Y'all had a whole relationship, regardless of if either of y'all want to claim that or not, but both of y'all are scorned and bitter about the situation. Oh, and two, I wanted to talk about in Bri's interview with Ricky and Jesse, she says that that she didn't know if Tyler's fiance knew or not. That's a blatant lie. She knew for a fact that Tyler was not going to tell his fiance. When we started talking about donating and things like that, that was part of the conversation. He said that he wasn't going to tell her because nobody was ever supposed to know that he was the dad anyways. So she knows for a fact that he didn't tell her until after I left Maryland. So this is after the baby was born. He had months to tell her. He did not. And while we're on Bri, in her interview, she says that Tyler abandoned the kids another time for a year, and she found out that he was in love with another woman, or he was in love with someone else. It's funny to me the way you put that, like you were a little jealous, right? I don't know. I'm showing my petty side, and I'm not supposed to be doing that right now, but I'm upset. I can't lie. For everybody that's reached out to me and said I didn't deserve any of this, and they are sorry that I don't have my son and all that. Like, of course, there's anger there. Of course, there's hurt feelings there. I don't even date women anymore because of this situation. She ruined it for all of y'all. I know people been DMing and things like that, but I don't do women at all. But yeah, this situation has been extremely triggering to have to relive all of this, and not only relive it, but have to defend everything that I've done in the past when it was things that were done to me. And also to have to see people sympathize with your abuser, yeah, that's hard. Especially when her life is in shambles because of the choices that she made and because she chose to have a family with Tyler instead of the person that she was married to. So I don't feel bad for nobody but the kids. Karma is the rest of the phrase.
Listen, I'm done with this, okay? I'm done with her sticking by her man. Sis, we know you're gonna stick by your man. Sis, we know you love your man. Sis, we know you not leaving your man, and that's okay, okay? That's okay. I don't have a dog in that fight. I already told you, I don't care if he hog tie her, okay? I'm minding my business. She already told me, mind your motherfucking business, bitch. And I was like, okay, sister, not too much. I'm mind my business. She's standing behind him and he gonna stand on his lie, okay? But later on when you get pregnant, we gonna see how it really is. Later on when the truth come out, we gonna see how it really is. I don't care about them, these people. I don't want to believe. I'm done. I'm done investing any emotional time. After watching that Dear Wifey podcast, and I loved the interview that he did with Danae, Derek Jackson's ex, so I love the podcast. I love watching just everything about the podcast. It's so, I'm a spiritual person, so it speaks to the spiritualness inside of me, and I just feel at one with that podcast. But after watching it, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna invest any more of my emotional time, my mental health, they're not gonna throw me off my positivity, okay? I seen it. I'm disappointed in how he chose to lie. I felt like this was the one safe place for you to tell the truth. Like, you had somebody there with the scriptures, okay, the gospel piece of it that would help you out and smoothen things over if you decided to tell the truth that he decided to lie. So I ain't got nothing to do with this no more. This man, I'm not Ashley wants to, I'm standing beside him. You should have never chose not to speak on it, because it ain't got nothing to do with you. What is you speaking on it for? I would have said that ain't got nothing to do with me. I speak to him behind the scenes and tell him, that, you have to figure this out with you and your children, but I'm choosing to step out of it and not be involved in it, and just, speak to him behind the scenes, and I'm not going to say what we spoke about. I would have did that. But you're constantly, telling him he don't want nothing to do with those kids, and, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Because for you to be with a man who's abandoning his kids, you just look a mess. Like, you standing beside a man that's not claiming his kids, that's not standing by his kids, but you want to stand by him. It just makes you look like a bird. It makes you look horrible. It makes you look like a mess. But she want to go on her Instagram stories and all these different stories and speak about it and be all hurt. And I'm a real one. You want credit for standing by your man and being in struggle love. And a lot of women are like her, who want credit for being in struggle love, who want to be like, oh yeah, she's such a down one. She's a good one. You're not a good one if you stand by a man that ain't ish, who ain't taking care of his kids, who ain't doing for his kids, who's a bad father, who's not stepping up, who's not like, you're not a good person. But do you, boo? Do you? And keep making excuses. I bet not hear nothing if she has kids and this man ain't doing good for her kids. I bet not hear nothing.
Had he done more research? However, I do think he did a great job in making Tyler comfortable enough that in between the lies he was telling, truth revealed itself. And I want to share some examples of that.
Right. And I had already agreed with Bri that I would be in these twins' lives because Bri tried to get an abortion. And the doctor said, they said you can get it, but with twins, we're going to have to put you to sleep. So she said, I'm not going to get an abortion, right? So as being me, listen, I'm here. I'm back here. Let's rock. Let's do this. Right. I'm here with you. But things spin very quickly to where she's going to these appointments with this woman. It feels more them again. So I started to detach again. Right. Shortly after the twins were born, I was around helping a good amount, but that girlfriend was still around as well. She was pretty much raising the kids. And I was there helping a significant portion. And then it hits about, let's say 7-8 months in. I'm trying to remember if I was even at the first birthday. I might have been at the first birthday of the twins, and I wasn't at 2, 3, 4. She switched, she left.
It starts to be less about him trying to prove that he's not been at all and is not a father to these children, and more about his upset with Bri. So he says, I'm here with you. You're pregnant with the twins. I got you. And then he's like, but then it becomes her and this other woman. That sounds a bit like jealousy to me. Because if you're just a friend who donated and you don't really want to be that involved in the child's life anyways, why are you so concerned that someone is stepping up to help her? So the moment that Bri starts building feelings for someone else, a woman specifically, you start detaching. Why? Why is your involvement with the children so tied to your involvement with Bry? He says he was helping a significant portion. Those are his words, not some smearing from somebody else. His words. Exhibit B of Tyler letting the truth slip, but not meaning to.
And I'm not going to speak on it. If I have to go and speak on that, I will. But like I said, I'm not here to bash anyone, but just know she is not, and anyone that has interacted with her is not the best character of people. But I want to keep reiterating, I'm not here to smear anyone else's name. I just want to let you know that a lot of things being mentioned are just bold-faced lies. Of course,
Anyone who has interacted with her is not the best of character. What about maybe the father of her grandchildren? Tyler, why are you telling on yourself? And you are bashing her. If you're saying that she's a terrible character and anyone ever associated with her is terrible, that's bashing, because there's no actual proof of that. You're just saying it. That is an example of bashing. And listen, I'm not trying to defend Bry or her mom. It sounds like a whole big issue. I'm just saying, man, I do see the strategy that the host was trying to implement. Make Tyler comfortable enough so that certain things would slip out. And unfortunately, Jessie Woo and Storytime with Ricky are correct that some people will not catch these moments. They will think, no, but he sounds sweet and he looks cute and I like him. And I've seen this online, like people saying, why don't people leave Ashley and Tyler alone? Absolutely. I don't think it's going to help the children to have everyone call Ashley and Tyler names. Actually, I don't. But I think that they should leave people alone. They should stop trying to market themselves. You got a loving relationship. Apparently you're in love. You should continue about your life in love then. Why do you need us? Unless you want to monetize off of your relationship. And maybe Love is Blind, Netflix wants to monetize off of your relationship. But just understand that that's not going to happen.
Nathan, I better not hear nothing. Because if y'all cool with her doing this, when she's not taking care of her kids, she's not doing her big one, okay, I better not hear nothing. All these people that love her, which is rare, because not a lot of people do, but other than her family. But all these random people on the internet that love her want to say, oh, well, he was a sperm. What about the other two? What about the twins? So y'all want to stick up for this when she has kids and he start doing her kids wrong and you find out whatever this man does to you, you can't speak on it now. You can't, because you okayed him hurting the innocents. Okay? Because a child is the innocent. You okayed him hurting the innocents, I bet not hear nothing from you. That's how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, but I'm done with this. Dear Wifey Podcast, show Tyler to be the liar that he is. Show Tyler to be the liar that he is. And show that Ashley's going to stand beside her liar, because right after that she was on Instagram saying stupid rubbish. Being dumb. But that's all I got to say about that. I love y'all. Mwah. Bye.